All right, we are here. Finally, after a couple weeks of annoyance and holidays. It really wasn't the holidays that kept me from doing it. It was my hard drive imploding, stop working. But we are here for the new update. So let's look and see what we have going on in this update. The first thing, one, I don't know how in the world I would test it. And the other one, I don't know why he fixed it. Okay, Ethrin, why are you confusing me? Stop confusing me, Ethrin. Oh, you are on YouTube. Why the hell does it not show up in YouTube chat? Holy crap. Ethrin, stop being a bug. Okay, anyways, I don't know what the hell the first one is. I don't know how to tell how I'm supposed to test it. So we're not testing it. I'm just going to read it. Fixed. Crucibles did not accept excessive amounts of air while nearly full. We're talking greater than 1,000 KU worth of air in one go, while only 1 ingot's worth of space is in the crucible. That's an edge case bullshit that I'm not trying to test. And why in the hell he cared? I'd have just had the freaking crucible blow up. That just sounds dumb as hell. But if that's your kink, I guess he fixed it and go for it and have fun. Everything, Ethrin, everything. Next one, GT6 Alexandrite ore veins will no longer generate when using HBM NTM, because apparently everybody has a hard-on for that HBM mod now when playing GT6, and apparently Alexandrite ore or Alexandrite gems is some rare high tier thing in that mod. I have no idea. I've never looked at it. And so they won't spawn if that mod is here. So fixing balance concerns. It also generally won't be one of the small gem ores on the small gem ores list either. You can still use the matter replicator to make them if you find a sample first. Okay, so this is there's a whole lot here that's going to be on mob spawning stuff. And I'm going to try to, he didn't group them together, so I've got to kind of look through this stuff. GT6 Mossy Cobble, not vanilla Mossy Cobble. Only the GT6 variants will make you and mobs slide off if you are not sneaking. Now, the problem with that is I'm pretty sure I cleaned all my Mossy Cobble off. I don't believe I have any that isn't vanilla. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I can make it. So give me a minute. Mossy temple blocks, mossy cobblestone. That's regular. I want GT version. Mossy blue schist cobble. You have to use I thought Greg had a way of making this stuff. You can do it with vines. Don't I have vines growing out here? Something? Yes. All right. Where's all of my inventory? I dropped it off for some reason somewhere. It's been a while since I've been in this world. I don't know where I dropped my stuff at. I don't remember why I dropped my stuff. Well, there's some of my stuff. But I don't see my... I need a pair of scissors. And I don't see my... tool. And I don't have scissors in here, because why would I? I have a multi-tool. This is what happens when you don't play forever. You forget where everything is. Did I put it in a backpack? It's not in my backpack. I have my backpack on. Why do I not have all my stuff? I didn't die last time I was here, did I? I thought I took it out of my inventory because Tamara had to kill me. Which means it should be in one of these boxes right here. Okay, there it is. Told you it was in one of these boxes. Give me all my stuff back. Put my armor on my ass. Scissors. Got it. Okay. So now we do this, we do that, and we get a mossy cobblestone. So now, if I jump up here and I step onto this, I slide off the side. Oh, and it's different sides. One time I went left, one time I went right. So does it matter on the... I think it matters on which side of the block you're on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it matters on which side of the block you're on. So can I walk across it? I can't get all the way across it. Okay, so that works. Okay, just for that, hold on. No. Hey, there's the chest I was looking for earlier to see if I had any actual moss stuff in here. Like I said, I didn't think I did. There. It wasn't in the last one I checked. I checked 6 more after. And yes, I literally did that to prove you wrong. Okay. So, this block spawns mobs and makes them slide off if there is space, which is ideal for mob farms. That's what a lot of this stuff is going to be, is about mob farms. I don't know why. I don't know what the whole thing is with mob farms. Nobody's really explained it to me. I'm not big on them, so I don't care. But you can sneak across it. That's going to make it really fun when you go walking through one of Greg's fortress things, because there's moss stone generated in those. So you're going to be slipping walking up and down the halls. Also, to go along with mob farms, mobs can no longer drop wooden or stone tools of vanilla Minecraft, and instead will drop sticks in those cases. This should very much declutter some mob farms. Was thinking there was another. Okay, there's one other thing that has to do with mobs, but that's going to be later because it's a multi-block that I got to make. But we will. Is that not? Oh, Von, not Van. This. He made the Von de Greg generator, which needs another star, because of course it does, Greg. I am not killing a wither to test this thing. You can kiss my butt. Cornerless 5x5x2 base of 41 dense galvanized steel walls with main at bottom center. A 5-meter long pole of large copper coils with +1 dense steel wall on top. Wrap a cornerless 3x3 of 16 dense steel walls around the top. Where in the hell did Greg come up with this structure? He didn't want to make this cheap, but basically it's a Tesla coil that stops mob spawns is what this is. But it uses 16 EU a tick. I'll just read the thing. A multi-block that turns energy into mobs won't spawn except on mossy cobblestone in a range of up to 256 meters, 256 blocks. Now, he says in a range of up to 256 meters. Is that 256 radius out from it, is what I'm assuming? Because he didn't say radius. But I'm assuming that's what he means, because nothing will spawn inside of that range. It consumes 16 EU per meter per tick to do so. Its design is like what English people tend to call a Tesla coil. The exception of mossy cobblestone from both vanilla and GregTech was made so people can use this for highly efficient mob farms. And you can use the builder's wand to build it because, holy crap, this is a weird structure that Greg came up with. And since it runs all the time, it has to be villager powered. That would take a lot of villagers to power that. All right, so let's get to less ridiculous, and we'll get to more ridiculous in a bit. And I'm definitely spawning in the block because I'm not killing a wither to test this thing. I will cheat for this because, you know, for most things, I don't want to cheat because I'm going to use it. For this case, I'm not going to use it. 16, yeah, I think so. So you'd need 256. Well, it says a 256 range, which to me is 256 radius out from it in all directions. So ain't that like 256 squared? 256 times 256? It can't be 16 times 256 because that would only be 256 blocks. This is 256 in all directions out from it. An area is, wait a minute, it's pi r squared. I can do math, damn it. I know math. Yeah, so 3.14 times 256 squared. So it's even bigger than what I said. That would be the area. No, I'm stuck at the fact that I put something in. I can't find my calculator. I put something in here that changes the start menu because I hate the fucking Windows start menu, and I don't know where in the hell it hides the fucking calculator now. There it is. Found it. So 3.1459, because screw you, times 256 is 65,536. This thing can't take enough power for that. That's just the rate. That's just the area is 65,000 blocks. That's not counting the 16. Depending on what he uses as base for it, is it circle based radius or like torches? One would be a square, other one would be, I don't know how he did it, but that's a seriously large amount of blocks. No, I can't handle 1 million. The block can't handle that. The block literally says that it can only handle 2,048 EU a tick. 256 to 4,000. 4096 is the max voltage you can give it. So I'm assuming 4096 times 16 is not going to be a million something. Because you can give it multiple amps. And the biggest cable you can get into that would be a 16x cable. I don't know how the hell you're supposed to power this thing for that big. So let's ignore the stupid for a minute. If Greg sees this and wants to explain it, he can try to explain it. But to me, that's just ridiculous. 256 times 4 times 16 is 16,384. Hi, Crazy. You figured it out? Good. Thank you. So, off the mob spawn crap for now. Let's look at the other stuff, which is oil shale in a coke oven now gives you 10 times the amount of oil, making it actually worthwhile to use it. I don't see where it wasn't useful to start with. Can somebody ping Trends? Because this is something Trends might want to look at, since we have oil shale from GT6 in GT5R, and since we use the same recipe in the coke oven. I don't know that he's going to want to go to 10 times, but he may want to look at... Why'd I put in coke oven? I want oil shale. Damn it. Stop coughing, you asshole. I want the dust. Coke oven. So for one oil shale dust, you get 250 liters of oil. So 4 to a bucket. And you get a tiny pile of asphalt, which doesn't matter. So that's not terrible. Now, granted, that means that you're going to get probably about a bucket out of every ore you mine if you mine it with Fortune 3, because you're going to get the raw ore, which you then can macerate. This is the one thing that I disagree with the way Greg does oil shale, because you can macerate it and run it through oil processing and get more out of it. Because you can put 1 raw oil shale in and get 2 crushed out. So even with Fortune 2, you're probably going to average around 2 raw oil shale ore for every block. And then you're going to be able to turn those 2 into 4. So that's going to be a bucket from every ore. But then he also lets you run it through the sluice and get tinies to go along with that. And then you can run the purified through the centrifuge and get refined from that. And then you can crack it into oil shale dust with wax or refractory wax, any of the waxes, or you can just shred it and get the dust. So you're going to end up with more than one bucket's worth per, which is why in GT5R I told Trins, you just throw the freaking ore, or you just throw the crushed in. There's no processing. So at any stage you throw it in and you don't process it, because it's kind of dumb to let you process that down, because again, water, oil doesn't mix well. Washing in oil or just sounds ridiculous to me. And on top of that, you get to process the sluice juice and get the other stuff, which processing the sluice juice and getting other stuff isn't the bad part, because yes, there could be zinc and chrome and nickel and all that stuff in the ore as well. But it's the extra oil shale you're getting out of it that I have an issue with. And the fact that you're processing it with water. So that makes that more reasonable for people to use. The 3 types of golden juices now make roughly 10 times less biomass than before. They now either produce 65 times, 64 times plus the base value, 9 times, 8 times plus base value, or 2 times, 1 times plus base value, the output of juice-based biomass. So that is this right here, the golden carrot juice, the golden apple juice, and the golden cider. So you could use these to up the amount of biomass that you got out of something, just like you can use juices or honey to up the amount. And it was a ridiculous amount. And since gold is basically useless in Minecraft, it was a good way of getting, it was a good use for it if you wanted to go through the bullshit of making golden apples or golden carrots. It wasn't anything I was ever going to do, because it's, you know, it's outside of my realm of believability, so I don't do it. But it now makes a lot less than what it did before. Let's see. You can now right-click a tap or nozzle with an ender garbage bin or similar other mod voiding items to drain one attached fluid tank entirely. Do I have a fluid tank that I don't mind voiding to test this? Yes. Yes, I do. Hold on. I know exactly what I'm using for this. I just need to try to figure out where on earth I actually have a garbage bin. And I thought I had one over here somewhere for excess water, because I don't void anything. Is it over here? I don't know where one is in my factory. That's actually a really good question. What do I not care about that I would actually void? And the answer is water, because it's the only thing I will void for the most part. I know I've made one. I can make another one if I have to. Maybe I hid one up here somewhere. Huh. There it is. I knew it was near the water. It was just upstairs, not downstairs. All right, so I know exactly what we're going to avoid with this. The question is, can I find my nozzle? Or my tap, actually. Hey, zombie friend. How's it going? You know I don't have anything to kick your ass with, right? So I'm using scissors. You're going to die by getting poked in the eye. Put your friend down. Drop his ass. Stop it, jackass. Does anybody know what I built that for? I have no idea what I built that for. That's a gas nozzle. That's not what I'm looking for. That's a tap. That's what we're looking for. Give me that. And what I don't care about is experience. No idea how we got seed oil in there. There you go. It voided all the experience. It works. Now, will it take the seed oil? Yes, it took the seed oil too. Yay. All right, so that works. Now I have to try to die. I believe. Yep, I have to try to die. All right, what in the hell are you two talking about? I thought it fried already, like the newer in. Oh. Yeah, shut up. Okay, so let's get a couple pieces of gold. This will be a good thing to use this for. And drop it in the crucible. Start heating it up. So what we are testing here is crucibles are now 1,000 times harder to break when not empty. And well, we also have to try it when they're hot. It has to be hot when we try to break it. So, oh yeah, that bitch don't want to break. Okay, Bear doesn't get to die. He didn't make it too easy. That is really hard to break. Now we'll just let that pour. If I was gonna void stuff, I had to do it while it was hot. So now you can't accidentally break your crucible with something in it and lose all your shit. Let's see. Sensors are now able to cleanly read GT6 multi-block stats without needing to be adjacent to the controller. Before this, there was plenty of hacks that made it work somewhat. So, okay, that turned off. So that means if I take down here, down here. I don't know if this is going to work. No, it must have been that one I was looking at up there. Been there, done that, Ether. Not trying to again. Yeah, this one. So that means that if I put this on the side of this, is it going to tell me what it's making? Do I even have stuff in here to make power with? That's a better question. I don't know if I have stuff to make power with. Now, damn it, one of these has my magnifying glass in it. There it is. If not, I know something else we can try it on.
Huh?
Yeah, I figured you were going to tell me that it's formed properly and not tell me what's actually in the damn thing. But we're staying pretty good on power, so I'm assuming it's got gas in there. So let's try that. No? All right. Different idea. Do I have... Why is that? What is this doing? What now? What I wanted was Greg changed the fucking amount of oil out of oil shale, and I just wanted to know if you wanted to check it. But why is this continuing to turn this off? This is starting to piss me off. I am seriously confused. I don't really know why I care, to be perfectly honest. This is my testing world now. This isn't my actual world because there's no freaking reactor sitting over there, but it's confusing me, and I don't like being confused. That shouldn't be going off. Why is this going down? I don't fucking know. That would take way longer than a testing stream to figure out. We're just gonna ignore that. Do I have a fluid sensor around here? Or do I need to make one? Basically, since you use Greg's oil shale recipe in the coke oven, I wanted to know if you wanted to adjust yours because he adjusted his. So now every oil shale gives 250 liters. That's all I wanted. We used it for oil. I think it was 25 liters per before. And now it's 250. That way it seems more worth it to go out and mine the oil shale. I didn't see that big of a deal with it before. I used it in GT5R. I have used it in the past here when I couldn't find oil. But apparently people had an issue with it, so he made it higher. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention since we use the same stuff. All right, so sensor. This does say sensors, right? Yeah. So I want a fluid one. Chromatic. Item stack. Fluid. I need a bucket. A stone pressure plate. Do I still have tin alloy bolts? Tin alloy plate. That's the kitchen. Wrong door. For these. Okay. These around there. Now I need a bucket. Have any iron plates in here? We do. I need to roll 2 of them. Hey, look. 2 curved iron right there. I need a hammer. Hammer don't hurt them. Hammer. Hammer. Give me hammer. Okay. And put the hammer back, and now I need a pressure plate. 2 pieces of stone. Not bricks. I don't think smooth works. Do we have any actual stone in this fucker? We have 1 piece of stone, really? Stone brick. Hey, that's shale, that'll work. That should make a pressure plate. It does. I still got to fix that. All right, so that should tell us how much is right there, which it does. So that works. And we can put it here, and it tells the same thing. Now, the only problem with that is it won't tell you what's in the outputs. It's only going to tell you what's in the inputs. But it does work. If you want to know the outputs, you got to hack around it a little bit. But okay, that works. Like, that's going to tell me how much oil's in there. 16,925. What is that reading? Oh, that's reading the total. Okay. So it's not just reading the input. That's reading the total amount of fluid inside the tower. 15,925 plus 1,000. 16,925. Okay. So that's not going to tell you how much is in the input or the output. It's going to tell you both. Not sure how useful that is. But that makes it really nice for being able to see what's in tanks like that. But I thought we could do that before. I didn't think it had to be on the controller for tanks. Again, I don't know what use this is going to have, but we're just testing that it works, and it works. So, yeah, it works. Okay. So you can now make steel rope. I'm not going to make it. It's the same thing as all the other ropes. Rope. There it is. You should have to wear gloves or it cuts your hand, because steel rope would be murder on your fucking hands. But you can now use fine steel wire to make steel rope, or you can do it in here without having to use the cutters. You can use a loom. And it works exactly like all the other ropes. I have no idea why you would make steel rope. Not if you oil the steel rope, then you just slide. Yeah. Could you imagine how rough that would be on your hands, though, if you didn't? That would be rough as hell. All right. And there's one other thing we got to do, and then we got to go to a new world. And the other thing is actually something I asked for and have been waiting a very long time for. And that is, why did I do it this way? And why did I type in ultimate? It's not ultimate. Is it ultimate? I can't. It is ultimate. But I should have typed in boiler. It would have been easier to find. There is now a ultimate boiler. And the reason for that is it pairs up perfectly with the THC heat exchanger. I don't know why he put burning box, because there isn't a THC burning box. But if you look at this one right here, it takes in 1024 heat units a tick. And if you look at the heat exchanger, THC 1024 heat units a tick. And that's the dense version. The Non-dense version, same thing, 256. Before that, you couldn't really do the dense heat exchanger because it didn't have a boiler that it would pair up with. You would have to do some weird hacky crap where you sent it through another portal and had 3 or 4 tungsten ones there. Really dumb. So that is the use for that one. It is for being used with the THC heat exchanger, not burning box, because there isn't a THC burning box. No, we're not testing nukes. Okay. All right, so we still have that weird Van de Greg generator, but we're going to do that in another. I'm not building it in here because, well, I'm cheating. I'm not cheating even in my test world. But we need to make a whole new world. And that is because yellow and brown grass now indicate lava, gas, and oil springs. Greener grass indicates water springs. So he finally added the way to see from the surface that there's one of his bedrock veins underground. And I have not seen this yet, so we have to go do a bit of exploring around and see what we can find. And hopefully not run into an ocean, because that'll make World Gen horribly, horribly bad. So I'm going to bring this down. Don't need to change log up at the moment, so it's easier for me to see what you doofuses are talking about. And the easy way to do this is going to be to look for Greg's flowers, because there is a, oh, right there you go. So there's a water spring right below this. So that's not what I wanted. Let's open to land and turn on cheats, because of course I didn't turn on cheats. And let's go into, how do you do creative? Game mode C? Aha. And there it is. We are in regenerative water. Right there's the fluid spring. All right, get your ass back on the ground where you belong. All right, so let's go see if we can find an oil one or a lava one to see what the grass looks like. Otherwise, what I was going to say is there's an easy way to do this. I don't know how many people know about, which is Greg still has his whole grid issue. So if you notice, we just had the water over there. We walked straight this way, and there's a bedrock vein of, I believe it's copper. right here. And if we keep walking in a straight line, we'll find another bedrock vein of something. Greg is really bad at generating things not on a grid. I don't know why he generates everything on grids. He has a thing for grids. I'm literally in creative mode. I do not know why I'm being so careful. I am not this careful in normal. But now that I'm walking around in creative, I'm freaking... Don't break a freaking ankle, jackass. Damn leaves always hitting me in my head. Oh, there you go. There's brown. So, am I going to hit lava or oil? Good reason not to dig straight down when you find the brown stuff. Because you don't know if it's going to be oil or if it's going to be lava. That's lava. I know I'm in creative, but still. Yep. There's lava. So, yeah, it works. Even in creative, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction after of me falling in. Now, the one thing about that, which I guess we can go look at, is it's only for grass. Okay, we're going to skip over this a little bit. And there's evil water. That means deserts aren't going to show you shit. Well, you know, there's also that problem of, you know, the world not existing. But you're not going to be able to find any of them in a desert because there is no grass. I'm really hoping he's not going to spawn grass where there's sand. But I'm pretty sure it's just, you know, and you're not going to find it in water either because, again, no grass. How about different sand instead? Well, that's up to Greg. As of right now, it's only grass. If you want to look around a desert, I guess you're going to be digging. Ignore that oil over there. That's BuildCraft oil because I like my BuildCraft oil spouts. I really miss them in modern Minecraft. Yeah, this is BuildCraft oil. Ignore that. Not that I've seen, but I haven't been looking for them. Yeah, I haven't seen any colored stuff out here in the desert, so I'm assuming when he says grass, it's literally just grass. I still love the fact that squid spawn in oil. That is so retarded. All right, so since we're here to cheat, let's get out of creative because I hate creative. S. There we go. And turn on That's utility mode. That's cheat mode. All right. So let's see this thing. We need one of these. Only one. Okay, we'll go with that. We need 41 dense galvanized steel walls. Okay. Galvanized machine casings. No, that doesn't work. All right. There's way too much in there for me to look at. Walls. Nope, I need just wall. It's the wall, brother. Stainless galvanized. There we go. Stack of those. And then we need copper coils. 5 large copper coils. That is way more than I need. Thank you. Get out of here. And then we need 16 dense steel walls. I did get dense, right? Yeah. So that would be dense steel. I need 16 of those. And we're going to try the builder's wand. See how this thing works. See if it actually works for building this thing. So this goes at the base. And then, well, that's not cornerless. Oh, you just got to keep smacking it. That tells you it's done, apparently. I hate this thing. I hate everything about this. Oh, Greg, I hate this. You don't know how badly I hate this. It won't build any higher than this. I must have to smack on top of it. Why is it not building anymore? It's supposed to be 5 high. Cornerless 5x5 by 2 base, which we did. 3, 4, 5 cornerless. A 5-meter tall pole of large copper coils plus 1 dense steel wall on top. Well, that's only 3, so why is it not doing... Well, there we go. Now it did it. I don't think that's the problem. I don't think it's the fact that it was confused by that one. I think his builder's wand is just a piece of shit. Oh yeah, this is null, so it's not gonna have any. I'd actually have to make a fucking back to creative I go. I hate creative. Get fuck out of here. There you go. So that should be it. Well, twinkle dink farting around on it, and it's done. So that is your Tesla coil. And now if we get a... Oh, I'm in fucking creative. Get out of creative. I hate it. Thank you. Give me a magnifying glass.
Huh?
Square radius 0 meters of 256. But it doesn't actually say that the structure is formed, which is what they normally say. So I don't know why it's not saying the structure is formed. Also, screw off, Creeper. So there you go. That's your Tesla coil. Good luck powering it for all 256 meters, but so now nothing should spawn in this area. You know, these guys already spawned, they don't count. If it's powered, unless they're on mossy cobble. Because mob farms. I will never build one of these in survival. Because it takes all the fun out of it. I like to fight. Okay. So that is the new version. Tested and ready to go. And I am going to get the hell out of here. I've supposed to be doing TFC tonight. Hopefully we can actually get back to doing TFC and GT5R tonight. So have a good one. And I'll catch you later.